Wait a second here. Cathie Wood hits back at Michael Burry. So we heard that Michael Burry is shorting Cathie Wood's ARK Invest, which is not a surprise. We have seen the short interest percentage skyrocket at throughout this year of Cathie Wood's ARK funds, specifically ARK Innovation. In fact, if we go to let's go to the year-to-date chart on ARK K here, we could see just above my head here this chart showing ARK K basically going from next to no short to as high as 13.86% short at one point, presently sitting at 12.96% short on ARK K. It's really, if you want to short innovation, you want to short high PE stocks, Cathie's a great one to short, if that's what you wanted to do. So let's see how Cathie responded. Cathie Wood laid out her case for why her firm has for months been pairing holdings tied to Chinese tech holdings. Okay, well, let's now I want to hear the response to the Michael Burry part, not the I was right, I'm selling Chinese stocks. The superstar fund manager also rebutted investor Michael Burry. There we go. After bet against her. Here we go. I think that China-U.S. saber rattling, which has intensified under this administration, a surprise to me, is bringing more activity back home. Okay, yes, this is true. We thought conventional wisdom was that Chinese-U.S. relations would actually be better under Biden than under Trump. And they've actually been worse, which it was a big surprise. So yeah, that is true. That was a surprise. All right, then the supply chain reorganization is going to be positive for the U.S. and it'll be somewhat negative for China. In a tweet Tuesday, she also hit back at Burry, the Big Short, or who got famous through the Big Short in 2000, in the 2008 financial crisis. But anyway, okay, here let's see. Owns a bearish put contract against 235,000 shares of ARK Innovation. Wood said in her tweet that she doesn't think Burry understands the fundamentals that are creating explosive growth and investment opportunities in the innovation space. Did she really say that? She said she doesn't think he understands that. I mean, I personally think he understands it. I think he's trying to go in and out. He's trying to trade this stuff. He's back on Twitter, by the way. I guess. Is he? No, I don't know if that's actually him. Because he keeps... No, because usually... I don't know. He keeps deleting his Twitter. Let's go to Cathie. I'm going to assume that's not him. Okay, so Cathie... Yes, she did. Look at this. Hold on. This is the second row of tweets here. Oh, we've got a lot of tweets here. Let's break this down here. Look at this. Most bears seem to believe that inflation will continue to accelerate, shortening investment time horizons and destroying valuations. Despite what we believe has been a supply chain related short-term burst in inflation, both equities and bonds have appreciated since March. Unlike the tech and telecom bubble, this equity bull market has broadened beyond the innovation strategies that boomed last year to value and other stocks that trailed. Okay, she's made this argument before. Basically, she's saying, look, when you start seeing the rally go beyond innovation to other stocks like Target or Simon Property Group or Cheesecake Factory or whatever, right? Then that's a sign that when those bubble up, then soon you'll be able to have this cycle back towards tech and innovation bubbling up again, likely more than the others had. But that these things go in waves. This makes sense. The bull market has also strengthened, setting the stage for what we believe will be another leg up in innovation strategies, which obviously right now are kind of in the pooper. The last 6 months have been very difficult for innovation strategies. Since February, ARK has had pain. There's been a lot of pain since mid-February. The equity market is likely to reward disruptive innovation strategies once again when headline inflation breaks or fears of recession increase. Well, that's interesting. These are two things that she's saying. She thinks that we're going to see innovation do well again once we see that inflection point downwards in inflation, which I've regularly talked about, September to October readings, which would be October to November for that downward inflection, but Delta could really delay this. Or fears of a recession. So in other words, she's saying maybe innovation stocks could be a flight to safety. I actually have to disagree with her because I think folks fear the potential of higher inflation and a recession, which if you have a fear of higher inflation and a recession, I don't know that innovation is going to be your destination. And that's certainly not what the market's pricing in right now. So I kind of disagree with the second part of the statement here. Well, anyway, if the bond market is correct, one or both will be obvious during the next 3 to 6 months. What she's saying here is look at the 10-year yield. The 10-year yield's at 1.24%. The bond market is obviously pricing in an inflection point to the downside in inflation. And the bond market could be giving you a heads up of this inflection point coming. Since mid-May, a number of commodity prices have been breaking down. Okay, so now she's referencing this sort of collapse in commodities, which commodities had been seen as this inflection point in inflation to the upside. And that now we're actually seeing commodity prices fall, and that's clearly an indication that inflation is on its way down. This is something that Cathie Wood believes. Now, this is also true. We talked about this about 2 weeks ago, that car sales are flattening or declining. The Bloomberg, she clearly reads Bloomberg regularly because Bloomberg was talking about this like 2 weeks ago. So this is true. The deflation in commodity prices is cyclical, but is adding to secular forces that caused by technologically enabled disruption. Okay, basically what she's saying is, look, commodity prices go up and down, but because they're going down now, you're seeing them go down potentially with the same time as you have deflationary forces from technology and innovation bringing prices down. This is her arguments about deflation, the different forms of deflation, good deflation, which is innovation, or bad deflation, which is basically like, hey, you guys are going to go bankrupt because your products are old and you suck, and now you have to lower prices because of that, and now you're going to go out of business, right? These are the same arguments we've heard her make many a time, which is fine. These are fine. So far, I agree with everything she's saying, and a lot of this has been written on the wall and written on Bloomberg for a few weeks now. With the exception of this comment here that she believes innovation will do well if recession fears increase. I don't believe in this one. I do believe in the headline inflation breaking because I don't see innovation right now as a flight to safety asset. I just don't see the market believing that. So if we are correct, GDP and revenue growth will diminish until the opportunities in nascent technologies begin to move macro needles. Okay, now what she's saying is, we're going to see a softening in earnings or revenues at companies until the tiny little baby companies like Nano Dimension start actually making some real money, some big boy money. Got it? I don't know about that. I think it's going to be a while for a Nano Dimension to move the needle. In our view, the seeds for innovation explosion that ARK Invest is dedicated to researching were planted 20 years. During the 20 years ending with the tech and telecom bust. Yeah, so she's made this argument before that basically we're not in another dot-com bubble, that now we actually have the correct technology for a real bubble. I'm sorry, not for a real bubble, for real explosive growth. That is real versus bubble, which is generally associated with fake. Anyway, to his credit, Michael Burry made a great call based on fundamentals and recognized the calamity brewing in the housing mortgage market. I do not believe that he understands the fundamentals that are creating explosive growth and investment opportunities in the innovation space. No, that's a Cathie slam here. She's basically saying, like, the only reason people care about Michael Burry is because he was right one time during the Great Recession, and it was a big right. He did well. It was great. The fundamentals were screaming, red flags everywhere. But by her saying this, she is flipping the script, basically saying he's not understanding the fundamentals today, and therefore he's wrong. She's saying, look, he was right then about fundamentals, but he's wrong now. Kind of interesting. This is a good Cathie slam here. Cathie's going on the offensive. I love it. Oh, this is like, it's like financial people fighting. They exchange tweets. It's great. Yeah, okay, that was the whole tweet thread there, rather. So, very interesting. Nice Cathie Wood sort of slap back here. at Michael Burry. Again, and we've covered a lot of these things before, so not a lot of surprises in her tweet here, but we might give this a brief listen here. It's only a minute long. Not a lot of surprises in what she's saying. We've covered a lot of this before. It is very interesting, though, that she's essentially bluntly saying Michael Burry was right about the fundamentals in the past, but he's dead wrong right now. She is digging her heels in. Very interesting. I do disagree with her, though, that people are going to flee to innovation stocks in a recessionary, as recessionary fears increase. I think that's not correct, but who knows? We could have a difference of opinion. Okay, let's see here. China's crackdown stunts innovation. Okay, this video clip is really just going to talk about the Chinese crackdown stunting innovation. Okay, we know this. We already kind of got her bottom line from her tweets here. So, very interesting. That's Cathie Wood's Slapbag for you. Now remember, take a look at that link down below to get yourself 40% off on the amazing programs on building your wealth and joining me on our private market live streams where we do a lot of Q&A. So folks, thank you very much for being here. I will see you all in the next live stream.